Dark Souls. Its very name recalls hours of toil and pain for many gamers in this generation. It's one of the most punishing gaming experiences out there, wrought with feelings of loss and frustration. But we absolutely loved it. You might be asking, how can anyone possibly want to put themselves through that kind of pain? And what does that have to do with resurrection? For those that don't know about Dark Souls, it's an action role-playing game set in a medieval-style world full of demons to slay. It's a genre-defining modern classic, and its claim to fame is being an extremely difficult but fair game. Even its marketing slogan was "Prepare to die." And in this game, you will die. A lot. Dark Souls has a peculiar system where upon death, you will revive at the last bonfire checkpoint that you rested at. But that death doesn't come without consequences, as you'll lose all the quote-unquote souls that you've collected thus far. Souls are the currency of the game that's needed to help your character become stronger. Along with this, you turn hollow, which prevents you from getting help from others, and all the previous enemies you defeated return to stand in your path. And if you die yet again before reaching your corpse, you permanently lose all the souls from your last death, thus losing a lot of progress. So much of the game will look like this. You start at a bonfire, travel through the level, fight the boss, and die. You respawn at the bonfire, traverse the level, fight the boss, and die again. You get angry, respawn at the bonfire, rush through the level, die to the regular minions, and don't even reach the boss. Repeat this over and over and over until you throw your controller at the TV. But wait, before you rage against your TV, stop, collect yourself, think about your mistakes, and resolve to do better. This time, you spawn at the bonfire, travel the level carefully, encounter the boss, dodge and block attacks with precision, patiently whittle down the boss's life until the final blow is about to come, and victory.
Trilogy no hit run! We did it!
All the struggle and pain has built up to this moment and comes with a great sense of satisfaction that washes over you. With this win, you're rewarded with a whole bunch of souls and your humanity is restored. This cycle is analogous to the notion of the Christian view of life, death, and resurrection. Traversing through real life is much like the level. It's wondrous, scary, surprising, and so much more. But where this takes a turn is that the boss we face in life is what we call the flesh. To keep it simple, the flesh is our own sinful tendencies. It is our own selfish desires that cause the destruction of our own self and others. So in order to defeat the boss we call the flesh, we have to die. I don't mean that you just stand around idle and let yourself get killed. The kind of dying we're talking about is what we call dying to self. We defeat the flesh by choosing not to give in to our sinful and destructive desires, but choose goodness instead. The reason why we use this phrase of dying to self is because choosing goodness many times is so hard that it can feel like dying. But if we win, we gain our humanity, and our reward is that we level up in character, gain discipline, and grow in our spiritual life. For all Christians, the ultimate example of this is shown through Jesus. He endured beatings, falling down multiple times, and eventually dying on a cross. Jesus took on the ultimate denial of flesh and accepted the suffering inflicted on him and died for our sake. He sacrificed himself out of pure love for us and invites us to follow and do the same. Imagine a scenario where you got into a big fight with a friend. Say your friend publicly humiliates you by revealing your secret phobia to get a laugh out of some people. You get furious and decide to start bringing up some of their hidden dirt. This keeps escalating until you both are about to punch each other out and decide to never speak to each other again. Right at this moment, there's a fork in the road and you need to make a choice. Both you and the boss are low on health, and you can either attack or choose to defend. Likewise, you can either keep this up and win the fight, or try to resolve this peacefully and de-escalate the situation. In this critical moment, your decision here will determine if you'll die or you'll conquer the flesh. In this case, if you want to defeat the flesh, you must defend. You must choose to swallow your pride by apologizing and sacrifice your ego for your friend. Making this choice is not easy and will feel like the last thing you want to do. But it avoids the potential death of a relationship and can bring healing and restoration. Just like in the game, we go through our lives and end up in defeat many times by giving into sinful desires instead of denying them. But if we're dedicated to being victorious, we can learn to do better and get stronger. There's no shame in admitting that sometimes we need help from others for jolly cooperation, and sometimes we need advice or guidance from those who've gone ahead of us. We all toil and fail, but if we get back up to face the boss again and again, we can overcome and be victorious. Prepare to die is given a whole new meaning in the Christian context. Jesus taught us that with perseverance, love, and with help from friends and through God Himself, the flesh can be overcome and will be resurrected like Him through His power and grace. That new life that only He offers is infinitely more good and beautiful than anything we can imagine. And accepting that life is the ultimate victory. That's what I believe. So I'd like to ask you to reflect for a moment. Is there a vice that you feel like you need to overcome? Do you believe your own life and the lives of those around you would be better if you overcame it? Thanks for sticking around and watching my very first video. I hope that you like this kind of commentary on games and how it relates to faith. Of course, this analysis isn't a complete picture on resurrection, but I hope to cover other aspects of it in future videos. If you like this video, please subscribe or share it with a friend. God bless.